performance in Part 1. Important things to remember for Part 1 in speaking: some sample questions and answers, several questions for practice, and tips to enhance your performance in Part 1 of speaking. Therefore, let us start today's lecture with the requirements for effective performance in Part 1. Firstly, be relaxed while you give the answer. Do not give the answer in hurry. Reply in a friendly manner, but do not be over-friendly. That means do not use informal language while you answer. Produce basic information about yourself. That means you do not need to provide entire detail for every question. Just select the information that justifies the answer in the best possible way using uncommon vocabulary. Also, speak as simply, accurately, and fluently as possible. And finally, present yourself as a person who is willing to talk and has interesting things to say about him or her. So, these are the things you require for good performance in Part 1. Now, let us see what kind of questions the examiner will ask in this part. I have provided details of types of questions in each part in Speaking Overview video. If you haven't seen it yet, please refer it for better understanding of speaking module. Now, getting back, Part 1 is mainly concerned with your background. The questions like who you are, what you have done will be asked. In this part, the examiner is interested to ask you about your home or your family, your job or your studies, and your interest. Now, let us go through some examples of the questions and answers for Part 1. On your screen, you can see the first set of questions asked to almost all the students. The first one will be, may I know your full name? You should give a simple answer here. As I have mentioned here, the answer is, my full name is Vaishvi. The second question can be, how may I address you? Or how I can address you. Now, considering that you do not know what is another meaning of address apart from home, office or email address, let me tell you that address also means the way of calling someone. So here your answer should be, you can call me as Vaishvi. Now the examiner will ask to see your identification. The question will be like, may I see your ID? And here it is totally fine even if you show him your passport without saying. But I suggest that you should speak something here. And the answer could be, yes, here is my passport, with slight smile. Now the examiner will ask another question. The question goes like, where do you come from? Here you should give brief answer and describe your hometown. I have written the sample response as you can see, and here the answer can be, I come from Anand. It is a small town known for its educational institutes. So, this was the first set of questions. Now, for the Part 1, examiner will have a script and he or she will use that script to ask you the questions. We will have a look of some sample questions and answers on certain common topics. Firstly, the first question about work or study says that, do you work or are you a student? Here you have to give your personal answer. Now let me move towards the next question. It says, do you like your work? Here I have given short and informative answer. Yes, I like my job. It is very interesting. And the last question, do you want to do any other job? You can see the sample answer. It says, yes, if I get an opportunity, then I would like to work in XYZ company. Then let us see some questions about hometown. The first question says that, what is the name of your hometown? Here you have to give the personal answer. I have said, I come from Anand. It is a small town known for its educational institutes. Now let me move towards the next question. It says, please describe your hometown a little. Here I have given short and informative answer to describe my hometown. I have said that my hometown is very beautiful. All the facilities are available here. It is known worldwide for Amul Dairy. Now, at last, the last question says that how long have you been living here? You can see the sample answer. It goes like, I have been living here since my childhood. Now, moving towards the last set of sample question answer, that is spending time by yourself. The first question says that, do you usually spend time by yourself? Here you have to give the personal answer. My answer says that, not usually, but sometimes I give time to myself as it is important to spend good time alone. Now let me move towards the next question. What did you do last time you were by yourself? This is also a personal answer. The answer goes like, last time when I was alone, I recorded few songs as I like singing. And the last question is, do you like to be alone? You can see the sample answer. It says, yes, because it makes me feel relaxed and I can concentrate more on my studies when I am alone. Now you can see some questions for practice on your screen. While you answer, always remember that you should give your own answers. Be creative. If you use mugged up answers, there is a chance that you may lose scores. So be natural and creative and do not give short answers. By short answers, I mean do not give yes, no, not given responses. I hope you are understanding what I am trying to say. Now please pause the video and practice the questions by giving answers. I hope you had a practice and found that it is not so hard. So, this brings us to the last part of this lecture, that is tips to improve your speaking in part 1. As you can see on your screen, you can invent the information, that is, you can lie. The examiners do not know you anyway and they are not testing your ability or your general knowledge. They are testing your English language ability. Also, in the start, I mentioned that you should be friendly with the examiner, but don't be too informal. That is, don't use slang or curse words. Don't show the signs of racism or intolerance, and always have a balanced argument. The answers shouldn't be too long or too short, but try to use all the good vocabulary that you have. And finally, always give reasons for your arguments. I hope this lecture is understood by everyone. If you have any queries related to whatever is discussed so far, please write in the comment section below. We will respond at our earliest convenience. Thank you for joining with us. I will see you in the next class.